This is the Sacred Business Podcast, a show for spiritual women identifying entrepreneurs and leaders. I am Sora Suriano. On this show, you'll meet inspiring guests, get some business tips, experience sacred practices, and listen to my personal lessons as a business owner. As a transformational business coach, powerful medicine woman, inspirational speaker, fire igniter, heart whisperer, and world traveler, I've helped hundreds of women around the world heal their stories and transform their sacred businesses. It's time for us to claim our rightful and equitable place in entrepreneurship through scaling our business efforts. You are worthy, Divine Sister. Episode 16, Soulful Sales Script. Having a call where you get to hold space for a divine being who's desiring support is a sacred experience. It takes a lot of courage for someone to reach out and say they are in need of help. Can you remember a time where you have been searching or searched for a mentor or a guide or a coach, and you took that leap of faith and reached out and set up an exploratory call? It takes a lot of internal bravery to do so. Therefore, let's break down and understand the value of having a soulful sales conversation and why a script can make your life so much easier and allow the experience to be more profoundly sacred. Soulful sales calls or sacred invitation calls are also known as discovery calls, exploratory calls, strategy calls, mini sessions, or introductory calls. Whatever you name this experience, I believe this is a very important part of the process and part of your business, as well as learning how to master it. A human being who is seeking something, a solution to a problem they currently have, is reaching out. In the midst of this, they are tender and looking for support by a mentor, coach, or a healer, pretty much an expert who may in fact be able to help them through this feeling of confusion. And you have divine wisdom and potent medicine that's available to them. The fact that they have gone to your website and scheduled a call with you is huge. So let's take a moment and really honor that around this potential client. I know, sister, that it can be frustrating when this potential client or clients ends up not showing up for a call. But let's remember that it can be incredibly scary to show up on a call with someone that you may or may not have met and that you know that you will begin to bare your soul with. Firstly, make the steps to setting up an exploratory call super easy and clear. You may think everything is working well, but I encourage you to ask a friend or fellow sister entrepreneur to go through the actual process of booking a call with you and see if it is as easy as you think it is. Next, create a soulful sales script. It feels gross at first, right? When you read this or listen to me explain this to you, and I totally get it. It feels salesy and icky, and everything in you may feel as if it's out of alignment or integrity by creating a script. But I will explain why this changed everything for me and my team. How often do you feel so excited that someone is interested in working with you and immediately your heart falls and drops to your stomach and you begin to worry about whether they will say yes to working with you? You feel the turmoil of wondering if they could afford your prices, if you'll fumble on the call, if you'll get across the value of what it is that you're offering. And also you're afraid of what if they say yes and then they work with you and it doesn't end up being the way in which you expected it to go. And the thoughts will go on and on with your ego telling you why this is such a bad idea. By the time you're sitting there and you end up hopping on this call, you start feeling desperation and expectation seeping in what should be a very sacred call with you and this potential client. This is not the way to have an exploratory call, dear one. And so therefore I invite you to breathe and consider that there's a different way. it's time to be professional about this, meaning we create an experience where we are not consumed by our emotions and that are seeping with fear based on our ego, that frankly are heightened by the power of our mind. This isn't divine energy that we want to be with when we're holding space for our potential client. We tend to not be able to actually tap into our higher self when we're in this mist of fear and hesitation. And so to have a clear understanding of how to flow with your conversation is quite powerful. So I'm going to share with you a very clear outline of what you may consider when you begin crafting your soulful sales script. Here we go. Start off with a warm welcome. Then provide a little introduction to help your potential client feel at ease while you share who you are. Ground in to allowing both of you to be present in this sacred circle and space, possibly with a short meditation or a breathwork practice, and then you may pull a card from your favorite oracle deck or tarot deck. Afterwards, explain the guidelines that will help ensure that both you and the person that you are sitting with on this call understands the safe space that you're in, that you're there to help support them as a coach, even though this is the first time having that relationship. So asking permission if you may provide feedback and reflections, and then explain the flow and expectation of what the call will look like in the beginning, the middle, and towards the end of the call. Be very clear that you will show up and share an invitation and share more information about how they can work with you. Then open up with a question so that they can share with you why they're on that call, why they are moving through the places of curiosity that helps them feel like they are there wanting your support. Ask them questions regarding their problem that they're currently facing. And then begin to take their temperature on whether or not they're truly ready for some support or not. If you find that they're not actually ready for full support, you may desire to coach them a little bit, or it may actually be not the right time for them to work with you. This is where you get to really hone in on your sovereignty and be a soulful yes or no to this potential client while they're also feeling into you. Begin to reflect back what you've heard based on what they have shared. And then invite them to dream into a new world filled with possibilities. Ask them where they want to go. If they were to get the support, what do they want to see shift? Can they begin to share their new reality as if it's already happening with you? And then take a moment to really honor what their dreams are. And then drop in and let them know that you're sharing how you can support them. Share your offering, tell them the benefits of what it would look like, and then check in with them. Do all of this prior to sharing the investment. And when you're ready, then very clearly share. I'm going to share with you how much it costs. I hope you have pen and paper ready so you can write it down and really be with it. And then breathe and share what the investment is. I do highly encourage you to consider only sharing the full amount or one or two of the options rather than sharing all the different possibilities. Breathe and wait for them to respond. Give them the space and time to really drop in, feel all the feelings, notice what comes up for them, and then share. Don't fill in the gap and the silence because you're feeling uncomfortable. And then let them speak. Notice if they're a soulful, full-bodied yes immediately, or if they have some fears or hesitations that they're moving through. Also give them the opportunity to step into their power and share what they may also desire. So for example, if you share the full amount and you waited, give them the opportunity to feel really empowered and say, listen, I really want to work with you. Do you have a payment plan? They are then already taking responsibility for themselves. And then after you move through any fears or hesitations, take payment. And then share next steps if payment is not being taken immediately. So be clear around the fact that if they desire and need more time, that there's a certain time and date in which you would like their response so that you can either close this sacred time and open a new portal of you two working together, or that you get to send them off with so much love. If they are a yes, share very clearly what are the next steps that they should be expecting from you so that they're feeling held around starting this program or this service with you. And then, of course, immediately follow up with an email. You might also want to schedule another call with them as just a follow-up that's very brief, just so that you can conclude and send them on their way. And then close the call with a blessing, a prayer, a place in which you can both come together in deep gratitude, as well as disconnect your energy systems from one another, clear it, and then close the space and end the call. Now, in the Sacred Business Masterminding training, you'll receive a fully laid out example of a script that I use, the same one that I use with my team to hold exploratory calls. If you're interested in going deeper and receiving personal support from me to help you craft your unique Soulful Sales Script, I'm more than happy to do so. So please head on over to sorasuryourknow.com or sacredbusinessmastermind.com and apply for the mastermind. If not, I look forward to witnessing you craft your Soulful Sales Script and then practicing it over and over again with your wildly successful entrepreneur sisters, as well as showing up on these calls and noticing the profound shifts as you feel like you are mastering the art of invitation. Speak to you soon. Thanks for listening to the Sacred Business Podcast with me, Sora Suryourknow. If you love the show and desire to know more, check out sorasuryourknow.com. I would also so appreciate it if you would leave a love note, aka a review on iTunes. Now, remember, you have the power to create anything. You are able to bring forth beauty, abundance, and grace in your business and life every day while living a life that is wild, free, and calm. You are worthy, divine sister.